Hi, I'm Q, and I play Vox Windbler. Vox is a half-elf fighter and assassin rogue. She was born and lived most of her life in Asparia at the end of the Salt Valley. Her parents are Ava Windbler, who knew Perrin when they both lived in the Feywilds, and Tehran Windbler. Ava's half-brother Balak murdered Tehran, imprisoned Ava, and controlled Vox's uncle Theon. This results in Vox being thrust into chaos instead of the peace she had known. She eventually finds love with Reviana Brighthand, the captain of the Royal Guard, before Balak frames Vox for murdering the king of the Salt Valley, and manipulates circumstances to cause her to travel to the Dreadspire, leaving behind everything she knew. Now she travels the world with her found family, her talking sword Brightburn, to create a better future for those she loves.
Howdy, my name is Sean, and I play Atticus Phoenix. Atticus is a human fighter with a champion/homebrewed mage slayer archetype. Atticus hails from one of the oldest royal houses in Nymeria, the House of the Phoenix, which is nestled deep within the South Green, but has been wandering the continent for some time as a knight, pledging his sword to upkeep the memory of his family and to protect the people of the land. He is haunted by an ancient entity known as the Darkness, which has cursed him and his entire family with a plague that has left him and a few others as the last of their name. Atticus is the father of Atlas, his long-lost son, best friend to Cletus LeGrandes of the Hill Giants, former partner of Burgent Fellhammer, and designated leader of the party.
My name is Tyler James, and I play Perrin Meliamne. Perrin is a wood elf, bard, and ranger. Perrin was born on the Golden Shores to fulfill a lost prophecy before he was transported to the Feywild to escape the land's destruction. There he was raised by a figure half forgotten to all Nymeria, and eventually traveled the land under the control of Balak Morgrasp, while learning to be a con man and wanderer. He seeks to find peace between the necessity of violence in a cruel world and his deep love of life in all its complexity. Perrin is the adoptive father of Fauna, a pledged squire of Atticus Phoenix, keeper of the Door Realm Key, companion of Amos the Mockingbird, and wielder of the Ornament of Rights.
My name is Aaliyah and I play Fauna. She is a witch raised in the Evewood Coven that was recently wiped out by the Night Guard. Although Perrin is the closest thing she currently has to a father, her real parentage is still a mystery, as are the horns, which seem to be some kind of curse. She has a black cat familiar who is her best friend and constant companion, and has now found a new family in the ragtag party she has joined up with on this adventure.
My name is June, and I play Nyx Loon, a shadow elf, divine sorcerer, and rogue assassin with our shared pronouns of she/they. The last remaining heir to the Nightlands and prime of the Court of Night, Nyx was secreted into an enchanted locket to survive an ancient war, where they were soon lost to time and the whims of their Loonstone's wielder. From close friend and confidant of the Queen, to gauge pawn and ruthless assassin for the Speakers, Nyx was passed from many hands throughout history, and changed much of it. Now freed from the Loonstone's control, Nyx has only three goals: repay their life debt to Atticus Phoenix, protect their godson, Perrin Meliamne, and reclaim what was stolen from them in memory, identity, and homeland.
There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Feast of Dice channel. I'm your DM, Elijah Goodall, pronouns they, them, and welcome to Castle Run. Last time we did a session, it was the War Council. Atticus had brought all his allies together after emerging from the grotto beneath the manor, having separated his son, Atlas, from adopted son, Bert, and heading into the council, I think Atticus had high hopes, and during the council, the tables were turned as the party members present realized that a trap had been set. Most, if not all, of the staff of Phoenix Manor, turns out, are members of the remnants of Ord, a cult dedicated to Akron, to the nasty bird. But at the head of this entire thing was Cletus's sister, Regina LeGrandes, who, having her own reasons, has been embittered against the last Phoenix for a long time now. Going into that combat, Atticus, in a matter of a couple rounds, you pretty handily dispatched your best friend's sister, and she lost her head after refusing to back down. The fight was finished, but as the fight was finished, the party looked out to see that the manor was surrounded by the remnants of Ord, with what looks to be a hulking automaton somewhere lurking around the perimeter. Stepping out onto the lawn to confront this and fight a war that they thought they were maybe a little bit further away from. Atticus, you donned the mirrored helm taken from your father back in Asparia, and as you donned the helm, heard a gravelly voice from behind you, as stepping out also onto the lawn from the shadows is your father, Armitage Phoenix, also known as the Mirrored Knight. And before we get into the session, I'm going to let you know, so because we're fighting such a big battle here, I'm going to let you know the additional mechanics that are going to be at play. On top of just standard initiative order and combat, basically there are these pockets, like these pocket combat happening all around you, and they determine both. There's a lot of people here to get rid of, and without the buffer of your allies here, you would truly be overwhelmed. So what you do get to do is on each turn, I've assigned each one of you you are responsible for making, and it's just a single roll, but you are responsible for making a roll for one of your groups of allies surrounding you. That roll will determine how well they do in their own individual combats, which will then in turn decide if new combatants enter your battle every round or not, depending on how well those surrounding ally groups do. There'll be some other mechanics that kind of kick into play later in the battle as well. But the good news is, on top of those rolls, there's a DC, basically like a difficulty, and depending on which one you hit, it means better and better things for your pockets of allies that are fighting around you. But the group also has a collaborative pool of points that they can add to those rolls. So everyone right now, before you roll initiative, go ahead and roll a D10.
Four.
9.
7.
9.
Also a 9.
Whew, okay.
Ooh,
I
well
think
done.
I could be wrong if someone else, but I think I think that's 38 total between the 5 of you. So
Tyler's doing the math.
Somebody else
try.
double check me for sure.
I don't like math rocks. I'm not going to try.
It is 38.
Okay, cool. I will also say this. Fighting with you currently, like in your group and not in another group of allies, you have Cletus and Vladimir Thakul. So Cletus is going to add a D10 to your pool as well. It's a 5 on the die.
And Vladimir is going to stand still and do nothing.
Vladimir's going to add a D4 to the pool. Which is a 3.
He's just doing
So,
his best.
another total of 8. So you're sitting at, if everyone wants to write this down, just because it'll be important, and I'll be keeping track too, but you have a total of 46 points. These are points that only work to add to rolls that you make for your allies. So it's something that you can kind of like table talk and discuss, like, hey, can I take 6 points for my roll to add, I only got a 12 and I'd like to like at least get to 15 or whatever.
So basically, we're going to be doing a semi-normal combat, except we also have this additional pool that when
On
it
each
makes
of your
sense to
turns-
the role play, we're going to say they're backing me up, basically.
Yeah, think of it less as like people in your area fighting because you're the only ones in your area. Think of it more as like other pockets of battles happening around you. And then how well those are doing is determining how many new combatants get into your space. But yeah,
So
you've
the
got a pool of
points are only for
your
our
allies.
ally rolls, not
Yes.
any of our rolls.
Yep,
Okay.
just your ally rolls. I will also say this. There's one other thing here. Well, that mechanic won't come into play until later. Before we get into this combat, and I have you all roll initiative, each one of you is going to receive, which I don't care that it's not a thing that you're supposed to do is stack inspiration, but each one of you is actually going to receive 2 points of inspiration, which you can use to re-roll a d20.
What
for
if
anything
we
you
already
want.
have an inspiration? Are we stacking them?
You're stacking them. Yeah. So each one of you gets 2 points. One of those points for each of you is coming from the fact that you are now all oath-bound. And the second point is coming from your Pandira, Mr. Bits, who has been feeding off of your magic for quite some time now and is giving you a little
Bit!
boost of good luck before this
I forgot about
wave.
I must have
Yeah.
missed that session.
down. Yeah, Mr. Bits appeared in the
We're all
like in Bert's
frogs
dream
session.
in the Country Toads session.
But also, George saw him. That was the callback episode.
Yeah, yep, George saw him too. I will also. I'm going to open up one other thing. I realized that I forgot to send this, and when we did our talk back on Thursday, I told Fauna and Nix got to know about this a little early, but you all now also have. God, there's a lot of housekeeping at the beginning of this session. You all have a unique set of abilities that you can tap into because of your oath. And I am going to put that in the Discord chat. Hold on. I'll just put it in the main Castle Run chat.
Did y'all say to roll initiative? Is that what I heard?
Don't do it yet because
Okay.
I'm not in that mode yet. I'll explain this oathbound thing and then we'll get to the initiative. It's posted in the Discord so anyone can reference it. But there are a few things in there and I will explain each of them now. The first ability that you'll see if you're looking at the Discord chat is now that you are all oathbound, you have an ability called Legendary Allies. And once per day, each member of the party can add +1 for each other oathbound you can see to the results of an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So in this instance, like Bert would count as one of those two, but Bert is off protecting Atlas. So in this case, in this battle, you're looking at 4 other of your like oathbound or the party, which means once per day or once during this fight, if you want to, you can add 4 to an ability check, an attack roll, or saving throw. In addition, there's the channel oath thing. And what that 2 times per day means, it's not everyone gets 2 per day. It's that total as a group, you get 2 of these per day. So you kind of have to pick and choose who will do it and which ones you will do, because there's 3 different abilities here. So it's almost like a channel divinity for a paladin or a cleric. Of these 2 abilities, or of these abilities that you can use twice per day, there are 3. The first is Hallowed Ground, which you use a bonus action to create a spell effect 100 feet in diameter that lasts for a minute. And with the bounds of this area, you and any allies in it receive the following benefits. You can re-roll a 1 or 2 on any damage die. You're immune to fear or any fear-based effect. And you can create an additional pool on top of your other inspiration of 3 inspiration points that anyone within the grounds can use. However, it's not 3 for everyone. It's just 3 split between the 5 of you. So there's an even bigger pool there of inspiration. The second ability, Legendary Smite, can get a little ridiculous for damage. Essentially, you sacrifice a bonus action to add 2d6 for each other Oathbound you can see to your next attack. Just like a Paladin's Smite, you don't have to decide to use it until you know you've made contact. So you don't have to worry about like using it and then missing and it's a waste. As soon as you make contact, you can decide, okay, if everyone else is cool with it, I'm going to pull Legendary Smite. In this particular battle, you'd be able to see 4 other of your Oathbound, like within the party, which would mean that you'd be adding 8d6. If it was a crit, that would be turning into 16d6 added to your attack on top of everything else. So the damage of a Legendary Smite can get pretty ridiculous. The third and final one, which is very helpful for all the spellcasters in the group, is Arcane Surge. You can use a bonus action to restore half the spell slots, rounded down, to any spellcaster within sight. So that is everyone in the group, and if you have any allies that are spellcasters as well. Immediately, with a bonus action, half the spell slots are restored.
So the radius that this takes place in, all of these things are true, or we have to pick one?
You have to pick one, and you can choose 2 per day. So Hallowed Ground basically stops at Legendary Smite. Hallowed Ground is its own thing. Legendary Smite is its own thing, and then Arcane Surge is its own thing. And you get 2 per day for the entire group.
The Channel Oath can be a Hallowed Ground, which has the rerolls, the immunities, and the inspiration, or we can choose Legendary Smite. So that's a one. So one of them creates a zone, one of them is a one-off. Like this just is a major damage attack, and then
the other one
is
restoring spell slots.
Thanks, Zoom. The other one is that
just means you got it. Yeah, you got it.
Right. So basically, if there's a single enemy, we want that big boost of damage. If everybody's running low on spells, we want that spell recharge. Does that have is that just within eyesight for that one?
For the Arcane Surge, yes. Any spellcaster within your line of, like whoever channels that Oath ability, any spellcaster within your line of sight. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Those are your abilities. I think that is all the housekeeping for this massive battle. Everyone, go ahead and roll initiative.
21.
Right out of the gate.
Mine was dirty 20.
Okay.
By the way, did we say we had a short rest in between the previous combat and this combat?
I realized,
like a bolstering short rest?
I did, but one of the only times I've ever done this campaign, I have to take it back because then I read it and I realized it has to be a full hour of downtime. You were on the clock. There was no way to have a full hour of downtime.
We could do a 10-minute. We could do a 10-minute because I have the Bard Song of Rest. Is that what it's called? And so a 10-minute rest would be enough to count as a short rest.
Here's what I'll tell you. If you did take 10 minutes in that, things would get significantly worse outside.
Okay.
It is up to you, but it would be nasty outside by the time you got out there.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Thank God I got healed a bunch by all of you, so thanks.
Yeah, I will also remind you of the things in effect. Fauna's witching hour is in effect, which is it's the circle of power thing. But specifically for you, usually it's only people within 30 feet. But now that you are all oathbound, as long as Fauna can see you, you're all included in the circle of power, which means advantage on saving throws against spell and spell-based effects. It also means that if you succeed on a saving throw, where you'd usually take half damage, instead you take no damage. So that is another huge buff that you all have. The other thing is that I think, Perrin, at the end of last session, you had Amos activate Beacon of Hope, which, just so everyone knows, anytime a healing spell clicks into place, it's maximum effect. So it is if you rolled the maximum amount on all your healing die, plus the usual modifier.
We basically all got full HP off of the healing we did.
Yep, a lot of buffs in place right now. I have Vox.
So
Perrin.
everyone is back to 100, or not 100, but full HP
100.
right now.
I mean, how close is Atticus?
Yeah, I'm full.
Okay,
Back to
cool.
full because of that.
Okay. Fauna, what was your initiative?
17.
Okay. And Atticus, I missed yours too.
18 plus 8, so 26. Math. Hate it. For how much I love D&D, I hate math. Like, that's how much I love D&D, that I'll deal with doing math in my head.
Thankfully, you never have to do that much math if you don't want to. Plus, we don't really do combat that often, except for this session, which is all going to be nasty, bad, big time combat. Okay, so I've got let me real quick. I'm just going to make a couple rolls on my end for initiative. So 12. And okay. Okay. That is the initiative order. As this whole thing is kind of starting, again, Atticus, you put on that helm, and everyone heard the voice from behind you as your father steps out of the shadows.
You gonna give me back that helm, boy?
I'm gonna stare at him and just say, that depends. Are you with them, or are you gonna be a fucking phoenix?
Boy, I ain't never been with them.
You see as he says this, there's a cult, because again, we described like there's that ring of cult members that are surrounding, but there are also a lot of other of the remnants of Ord in active combat, along with Othgar betrayers as well. As he says this, there's a cult member that kind of like comes running out of the darkness, sort of in your direction, Atticus. You just see, without looking, a clean swipe across, and the cult member's head is just fully removed from his body, and it just goes sliding into the lawn.
Is he okay?
I don't think he's gonna get up again.
I take the helmet off and toss it to him.
He catches it and puts it back on.
I imagine you're gonna want to have a talk after all this.
Yeah, let's hope we get through it to have that father-son time we so desperately need.
Here's to hoping.
And Armitage is joining the fight on your side. I will say...
He's so fucking cool. Armitage is so
I will say as... actually, you know what? Because he's going to be up for a while too, I am going to go into the stream real quick and just activate his little character art thing so he's visible. There he is. Armitage is fucking tough. Armitage is his own, like, ally pod, basically, over here. And Atticus, you are going to be making the rolls for him. So, that being settled, we are at the top of the initiative order. Atticus, it's you. Immediately, like, you are surrounded. I will give you the number real quick. Let me just roll in my little pool to see what your starting combatants are. Okay. Immediately, Atticus, you have 3 Othgar betrayers and 7 remnants, just kind of like in your immediate area. I'm going to say, for the purpose of this fight, just to kind of like make it a lot cleaner and easier, your pod is 30, so like you can go the full distance of like your little pocket that you're fighting in with just a basic move action on your turn, which will allow you to kind of like move around and flank easily and things like that. If you were trying to get more distance to be a little safer as something ranged, it would be a thing that you would actively depart from the party's pod, and even though you'd still be able to see them, you would start off and almost like start your own pod. So it can be dangerous to basically break from this. Essentially right now you're just in this small little like tight fighting circle is what is happening.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have my shield at the ready for like whoever wants to get some half coverage by it.
Yeah.
I am just gonna go in for like the closest person towards me to combat started. My dad killed somebody, so I'm just going in for
cool.
Trying to like keep the group tight, but like I wanna initiate.
Yeah. Are you going in after one of the Othgar, one of the hill giants nearby, or are you going after one of the remnants, a cult member?
The hill giants fucked me up bad last time. That was a hard fight. I think I'm gonna go for one. Yeah, I'm gonna go for one of them.
Okay. Let me take my numbers down here. 2. All right. Give me those attack rolls.
First one is 14.
Okay. 14. Okay, cool. Organized. A 14 does hit, actually.
Oh, okay. Cool. And it's 2d6, or sorry, 2d8 because of my shield. I'm holding
because you've got your shield,
correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Oh, nice. That's going to be 17 damage.
Okay, cool. I mean, if you want to go all in on the same person, you can just do all those attack rolls at once, too.
Okay, cool. Next one is actually question. If I take a point from the pool and it gets to a 19, does that count as a crit? Or I have to roll a natural 19?
The points from the pool only function for your allies.
Don't go to me. Okay.
Yep.
No worries.
Yep.
No worries. So that's going to be a 26 to hit on the second one.
26 hits.
Okay. 17 on the second one.
Okay, cool.
Are you attacking the same Othgar, or are you attacking the second one?
I'm attacking the same one.
Yeah. All of you see Atticus start to work into like one of the largest combatants on the battlefield, which is the Othgar closest to him. Atticus, do you have anything else that you want to do with your turn? Vox is on deck.
Nope. That's it.
Okay. Vox, it's you.
Right. Vox has 2 daggers in hand, one being the dagger death. And I am just going to go and swipe at whatever the closest 2 enemies to me are.
Cool. I mean, you've got remnants and Athka. It's kind of like whatever. Basically, you're in this fighting circle right now, so you're surrounded by them, and it's kind of whatever. Do you want to take on smaller targets or bigger targets?
Probably bigger right now.
Okay.
Not so worried about the smaller for the time being.
Okay. You can either go after the same one that Atticus is going after, or you can go after a new one. But because of the way that you're all set up, you're basically this small little, like, core of Oathbound inside a much larger pocket of enemies. There's not really any way to get flanking in this position. So you can attack the same one that Atticus is attacking, but you won't get flanking on it. Or you can go after a new one.
I'm going after a new one.
Okay.
Well, the new closest to me,
Okay,
I guess.
Cool. Yeah.
My first roll was a 24.
24 hits.
And my second one was a nat 20. And on my second one, I would like to also use my sneak attack on that damage.
Yep.
So I'm going to roll I'll roll damage for the first one first, which is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for the first one.
Cool.
And then for the second one, it is going to be also 13 plus. Oh, hold on. 13, 20, 24, and then 28, 30, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 57.
And now she'll roll the
attack
crit.
goes well with a sneak attack because my 8.
Do you want to tell me what it looks like as you just absolutely annihilate this first Athka that is next to the other one Atticus is attacking?
Yeah, I think that Vox would just like leap on to this thing and just start just like pulverizing it. Just so much anger at not having a break and always having to deal with something, and we were supposed to be safe in Atticus's home.
Atticus, as you are
Atticus
carving,
watches in amazement.
As you are carving the Athka next to you, a warm spray of like greenish blood just right up your face, and you look over to just see one of the Athka toppling back to almost be trampled by other remnant members that are there as Vox springs off of them. I'm
gonna look at Vox after they just decimate this thing and just kind of lean my shield out more so they can kind of dip behind it.
Cool. Yeah, Vox, if you want to take, you can use your cunning action bonus action to kind of like hide behind the shield, which gives you, I think did we say half cover for allies?
Half cover.
Yeah. Which is just imposes disadvantage on any, and you don't even have to really make a check for that because you're just ducking behind this, so it's not even hiding.
Yeah, I think that Vox would definitely do that and kind of like look over at Atticus and just be like, okay, back to back, we're doing this.
Atticus is sweating because it's like, he's like, how the fuck did you just take one of these down so easily? I got my ass handed in the last time I fought.
As you back up to the shield, Vox, in your ear, you just hear the shield say,
"A fine play, mistress."
Oh my god, another talking weapon. Amazing.
Okay. Vox, that's you. Perrin, you're up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. We just left the building and we're just kind of in the open, so it's kind of like open hilly terrain.
Yeah,
there's
front
like
lawn.
Small rocks. That's really it. Okay. There's not like choke points or anything like that anywhere.
No
here.
choke points. I will say that this is kind of like, it counts as swampy territory, and while you're not fighting directly on top of a bog, there are things like pockets of like brackish water and stuff nearby, and kind of heavy vegetation, but not really any choke points at all.
Okay. I just kind of wanted to get an idea if there's anything terrain related. I think Perrin is going to stick, not get too far away from Fauna and Nyx. what's the distance? You said everybody else was using their full movement, 30 feet-ish.
You've got
get close
basically
to
a
these
30-foot
guys?
circle here. So if you think of yourself in the middle, 15 feet will get you to any side.
Okay, so I'm 15 feet away from this somewhat semi-sphere around us, and then
Yes.
the buildings to our back. Okay, in that case,
No,
I'm in range.
at this point, the building's not even at your back. Like the gap is close behind. You are fully surrounded by.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to be attacking anybody that's behind us,
Okay, cool.
facing away from the shield.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get to the other side of Nyx and Fauna, and I'm gonna. Thank you again, Zoom. I'm gonna get to the other side of Nyx and Fauna and just watch our flank, and I'm gonna be not moving significantly, 5 to 10 feet at most, and then I'm gonna be attacking whatever. I'm assuming it's cultists are on the back semisphere behind us. So I will attack the first one.
Okay, cool.
Math. 28.
Oh, 28 definitely hits.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already had incense going, but I will use my bonus action at the start of my turn to Hunter's Mark one of these cultists.
Okay, cool.
It's my bonus action. Attack. 21.
Oof. Yeah. What does it look like? This first one is annihilated. Tell me what it looks
Perrin
like.
is. I would say this is one of those situations where Perrin looks very together. We've seen that kind of vary from time to time. He just kind of saunters to the other side of Fauna and Nyx and mutters like, "Stay close to Atticus, stay safe." And then he whips Ornament of Rights around in like a really high arc, like a lasso, and he just slams it into this guy's torso.
Yeah. The rib cage folds like a soft cover book, just in on itself.
Don't judge a book by its cover. In this case, you're dead. And Perrin realizes he was the only
Nailed it.
one thinking about the word book, and he's like, wait, that line doesn't make any sense. And then I'm going to use my extra attack on the guy next to him.
Cool.
I'm going to be rolling a lot of attack die because I'm just going to keep Amos perched on me for now if I don't say otherwise.
Perfect.
So I've got advantage on all these. And I also have whatever the feat is that I have, Elvish aim?
Elven accuracy,
Whatever.
yeah. Yep.
So I get to replace these dice a lot. 24 on that next guy.
24 hits.
Okay, so I don't get Hunter's Mark. I'm having to remath my roll here. 1, 2. $14 on that guy.
Okay. 14. Okay. It was bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, so I think that's your turn, right?
That is my turn. I'm just gonna kind of square up between Fauna and Nyx and keep my eye on all these guys.
Okay, great. Atticus. Or no, not Atticus, sorry. That would have been wild. It is now the Othga. So, Atticus, that one that you were fighting is going to come in at you. First attack. Oof. Yeah, first, I don't think the first attack is going to hit. Your armor class is so high now. Yeah, that's a 13. No way. Next one, however, is... Ooh, I don't even think that... Does a 19 hit? I don't think it does when you have your shield, right?
23 is my...
Yeah. This Othga that you're fighting comes in with their spear, and Atticus, you've just... Like, the distance is too tight, and they're too big, and they can't quite get a good strike at you. That is that Othga. The other one sees Vox. They're going to go for Vox twice, even though Vox is behind the shield, because they are concerned about that. So they're rolling with a disadvantage.
Okay, but 5 feet, so sentinel.
Yeah, you do get Sentinel. Neither one of those are going to hit. It's a 13 for the highest. That is
That's another 26 on attack.
That one hits. Vox does... It's a 14 doesn't hit your AC, does it? No?
No, a 14 doesn't hit.
They
she
miss
wore
both.
her armor.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Okay.
My damage for sentinel was 22. I rolled 2
Okay.
8s.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that one looks not.
I believe now they cannot move. They cannot
Yeah.
move. They're stuck where they are.
Yep.
Do they get? No, I don't think they get.
I don't think anything else, but they can't move.
Yeah.
But you're still squared in with both those Othgar facing you down, but they have missed all their attacks. Fauna, that's your turn.
Okay, Fauna is seeing what Perrin did, like turning around and facing the opposite direction to cover that side. Fauna's going to take a cue from that and turn, like still stay grouped, but turn, like take the next 90 degrees, so like between the direction that like Atticus and Perrin are facing,
Cool.
but to one side. And she's just going to take aim at a cult member or whoever is in front of her, I guess, that direction.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It's definitely a remnant.
she's going to use her bow, but just like regular attack with it right now.
Okay, cool.
Just normal arrow style.
Give me just normal arrow style. Give me an attack roll with that normal arrow style.
That is 23.
That hits.
It's just 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you see the shaft of the arrow sink, and it just kind of goes through one of the cult members' arms. They flinch a little bit, but it's hard to see their reactions underneath the hood too. Most of these remnants, even the ones that may have at one point been staff recently for the manor, are all cloaked out here. Fauna, if you don't have any bonus actions that you want to do.
I think I'm going to just tell the cat to be ready, and have the cat just ready to give aid to the next person who needs it.
Okay, cool. So the cat is sitting out there for advantage. That is the remnants now. What I'm looking for. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. Okay. After the remnants, Nyx, you're also on deck. Perrin, the one that you hit with that second attack is going to stumble forward. They look on death's door. As they stumble forward, they reach out, place a hand on your shoulder, and without even saying a word, they just sort of collapse onto you, kind of leaning, and you feel something start to pour out of their mouth as they are doing their immolation attack, but the equivalent of this is that lava or cinder, like almost like a bile molten fire, just begins to pour out of their mouth and down your shoulder.
Can I send the cat to trip them before they get to Perrin?
Yeah.
It's a reaction cunning.
Yeah, as they try and get there. Sure. Let me make the dexterity save for that. What is the DC?
A 15.
They don't make it. That's only a 10.
So they're knocked prone.
So they knock prone, and Perrin, you just see, like, as they fall down, they'd already started this process. As they hit the ground, it just sort of like in a splash, they just sort of almost turn into a puddle of molten, like, burning flesh. As they just, and the cat is like, oh, yee, and shoots out from underneath it. That's that one. That one's toast. And a great action on the cat's part.
Good job, cat.
Good job, cat. Two more of these are gonna close at you, Perrin. And they are... They actually both come in from, like, either side. Not flanking because they can't get behind you, thanks to the little, like, pocket that you've created here. But they are both going to just attack with their daggers. That is nothing. That is a 6 to hit and a 12 to hit. These dice also either do pretty good or very bad. That's a miss from both of these cult members. The one that you attacked, Fauna, is going to, and if you see them step back, kind of like holding the arrow in their shoulder, and you see it begin to, like, the blood that has already begun to soak into that cloak, you see it begin to, it just kind of catches fire on the cloak, and the flame begins to lick and up the shaft of the arrow. As they step back, stepping out of the last couple remnants that are left here at the front of the circle, you see one of these members, same dress as the other remnants of Ord, but they have on their head a large bird skull, exactly like the one that, Perrin, that you found in Imago. And as they step forward, you hear they raise, like, a dagger high over them, and you just hear their voice echo out amongst the din of the battle. Oh, hail the life bringer. And I will need everyone within the circle to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is this a magical thing that
is
Fauna's
this a magical
deal
effect?
gives us advantage on?
It is.
$23. You said Dex? 23.
Yes. Okay.
19.
19.
18.
9.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay. Everyone but Atticus, you succeed thanks to Fauna's witching hour circle of power that is constant. You see as this, like, crowned remnant, just like many of the others, just carves in, and immediately there is, before the explosion even happens, it's like in front of that you feel the wind push out from that area of the vegetation that you are standing in, goes flat to the ground, and like the vegetation, all of you except for Atticus get underneath this blast.
Is this something shield can stop?
Is not something shield can
Okay.
stop because it's a save. Gimme, I'll let everyone but Atticus, since you just see, give me a perception check to see if you can catch the mechanic that's going on here.
12.
17.
Nat 1.
Fauna hit the deck literally, face to the grass.
What's Perrin's?
Sorry, I got distracted.
That's okay.
22.
Okay. Even with the nat 1, those are high that they're like cancel. So we basically sit with Vox's 17. The mechanic that is good, like these ones that have the crowns, you see they step out clearly as one of the leaders or maybe mouthpieces that were referenced by the remnants before. Their immolation or their attack triggers everyone else like around them in the pocket that you're fighting. So I will tell you, along with them, there are still 4 of these other cult members. All these remnants, they all go up when this one triggers too. So it is a massive, massive fireball in this space, and it is just a column that reaches almost 60 feet up as the lawn just blazes. I need to do some math real quick.
Yeah, Vox definitely would relay all that information that she noticed about them. I feel like we already kind of had an idea about that.
Yeah. Atticus. You feel that little like gust of wind from behind you, but your senses are so locked in this Othgai, you're looking over at Vox hidden behind your shield. You are in the thick of combat. When you see Vox hit the ground, and then in the instant that Vox hits the ground, you feel a searing heat, first on the back of your arms, the back of your neck, as fire just rushes past you. I mean, it's gonna get both.
Does this count as a spell?
It does.
Can I use my reaction to counterspell it?
You can. God, what level spell would this count as, though, is the thing.
Oh, because it's like a super crazy one?
Well, it's not. It's only crazy depending on how many hit points each of the remnants have left. But here's what we're gonna do, since I don't have a level for it, but I think it is still something that you should be able to counterspell. I'm going to say that in order to get rid of this, Atticus, the damage that is heading is truly... This may tip you off now that like cult members are the ones to take care of first. The damage with 4 of these cult members and a leader, so like 5 of them immolating headed your way, would have been 72 fire damage. In this moment, Fauna, I will allow you to counterspell it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this amount of damage and I'm gonna assign a DC to it. And what DC am I going to assign?
Okay, yeah, because
you need to hit it. Yeah, you gotta. If it's a higher spell, usually you have to roll. I think.
Yeah, 4th level or higher, and the DC is 10 plus the spell's level. It says, but I guess if you don't know what the level of the spell
for
is.
every digit of 10, I'm going to add 1 to the DC. So is it an Arcana check, or is it just a spell check using your Wisdom modifier?
Yeah, Wisdom check.
Okay, so you get to add. I think you get to add 5 plus your proficiency bonus right now, which is at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 to this roll, but you were trying to hit a 17 or higher, so you're going to need to get a 12 or higher on the die to counter this.
Okay. Also, just for it didn't matter before, but the perception check, I have advantage. It says like for Witch's Hour, it says advantage on insight, perception, and Arcana checks, right? So is that just for me, or is that for everybody?
Just for you.
Okay. Okay, well, I got a 17 on the die, so I think we're all right.
Atticus, as you feel this incredible heat begin to and you start to see it blow past you, you brace yourself for what you feel like is the nucleus of the absolute fireball that has gone off behind you. Fauna, what does it look like as you channel all this fire away from the group?
I think it would be, she would sort of create almost like a barrier to protect Atticus. Like the counter spell isn't really countering the spell at the source, it's just deflecting the energy. So it's basically just like a shimmering green wall that comes up in front of Atticus, like curves, so all the fire just like goes around and to the sides of him.
All of you see a ripping inferno around you, and because it's high enough, I like it enough that I'm going to say that it still cooks the Othga on the other side. You watch as this thing goes up, the Othga on the other side. Atticus, you watch that little bit of flame go by, and then the heat disappears as the fire begins to roar around what is essentially an enormous arcane shield thrown up around all of you. And you watch it. There's no blood. There's not even really time for terror in their faces. It is just they go from alive to charred bone as the flame passes by them. And the Othgar are toast too. That
counts as a spell though, right?
It does count as a spell, so you do have to roll.
Even though it's a reaction, do I have to roll for Wellspring?
You do have to roll for
Fauna,
Wellspring.
you owe me one.
Yeah,
Fauna,
well,
you owe me one.
don't say that too soon, because I might explode us all right now.
Your effect causes a giant pillar of fire.
All right, let me see if this is one that I already know the answer to. 64. So I have a guess of what this might be, but...
Yeah. I think this is one of the ones that we actually did get, so you do know what it is.
Well, I have it written as 65, but I'm guessing if they're like in groups of a few numbers together.
I'll tell you right now that you know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, and nothing happens yet. Okay.
No giant fireball. We're safe. We're fine.
No giant fireball. You're safe. And I'm going to do a roll real quick to replenish before Nyx's turn out of the pool. One for nothing. And one for remnants. Okay. Do the cleanup math on my end.
Which one of you cast Fireball? That was sick.
They're all just dead, right? They exploded themselves.
Yeah,
so.
they're all. I mean, you're still surrounded by more. They're now currently filling their spaces. Now you're dealing with one Othga and 3 remnants. Very, very low rolls on the refresh. But Nyx, that is your turn.
Okay. Nyx is going to take out Wax and Wayne and cross them together and use their bonus action to get the inlaid Guardian of Faith. And as it's the waning moon, I think calling them out, they're just, I was born under the new moon that made you, the very blood of the old ones in my veins, and you will serve your prime.
Yeah,
Death is what you want. Come and
night,
take it.
Yeah, it gives
but
you
let
a
it be
deep
against the
bound
enemies, the Guardian
turns
Knights.
To defend the group.
And then Nyx is gonna sheath their blades and I think just slap both hands into the swamp muck around them, and take a knee and cast Control Water. It has a range of 300 feet. I'm going to hold this action and cause all of the the small little bogs and standing water and all standing water within that 300 feet that isn't like around the group, and where Fauna cast kind of that like reflective shield. And for right now, just cause it to flood. So it's just like bubbling up from the swamp and kind of pooling together and collecting around. I don't want it to be close enough yet that it's like tripping up anyone around like our hem, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like back behind everyone, or maybe in the thick of things.
Yeah.
But if anyone sees it happening, it's just the water is just like collecting right now and starting to flood. Okay.
And this is the one that takes concentration, and Guardian Faith doesn't require concentration, right?
Yes.
This is there.
Yes.
Great. When you remind me with Guardian Faith, when you summon, so the Waning Night is there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it at the beginning of opponents' turns that if they're in their threatened area, they take the damage? Or does it just happen as soon as the cast happens and then at the beginning of their turn too?
That moves within a space of 10 feet for the first time on a turn, succeed a dex save, or take the damage.
Okay, cool. Within 10 feet. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will probably trigger on their movement. That is the end of initiative order. At the end of initiative order, we're going to go to our ally rolls mechanic to determine how the other battles are going. So I'm just going to go through in the same initiative order real quick, and you're all going to give me your ally rolls. Remember that, again, this is the thing that, like, I'm on this first roll through, I'm not going to tell you what the DCs are. Obviously, the higher you get, the better your allies are going to be doing. So keep that in mind. This is the thing where you have 46 points to add to your rolls, to add to the pool. But basically what you're going to be looking for is high rolls. With these D20 rolls that you are doing, you get to add the modifier. Like, basically you can add your highest modifier. So, and this is sort of like the thing that you're doing to inspire your allies around you. So Atticus, if you want to use strength for your modifier on this D20 roll, you can. Like wisdom, because anything goes, but you're basically using the one that is like your best attribute, and it is essentially working like an inspiration mechanic for your allies around you. So pick the modifier you want to use and add that to a D21. Atticus, I will tell you, your rolls are a little more high stakes because you are rolling for your father, Armitage. So give me, I will also tell you too, there's kind of a built-in mechanic too for each pod of allies that you're rolling for. Because it's Armitage, everyone gets like a little plus depending on how many members in the pod are left and who they are and whatnot. Armitage also adds a plus 10 to this roll.
Jesus.
So go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
Okay. That is going to be 29.
Okay, let me look at my DC chart. On a 29, Atticus, roll me 2d6.
Any modifiers to this or just flat?
No modifiers.
I rolled two sixes, so
holy shit. Okay, so in his turn, Armitage has just destroyed 12 cult members.
That scene from the first season of The Witcher, where he just rips through a crowd of people.
Yeah, absolutely banished from the world. Okay, and that was a 3. Hold on just a second. There we go. Okay. Atticus, that is your ally roll. Vox, it is you. You're rolling for like the villagers and the village leaders that showed up. There's a pod of them fighting nearby. Right now, there are 23 of them as your allies. You're rolling for all of them. they add a +1 for every 3 villagers, so basically they add a +7 to your roll, in addition to whatever modifier you're using in your d20.
28 then.
Cool. And that's with their +7?
Yeah.
Okay. 28 is also good. Roll me 2d6.
Seven.
Okay, cool. Damn. Villagers doing great.
Protect thy land.
Okay.
Rise up.
Perrin, that is you. Perrin, as you are like here in combat, you look over to your right, and through the thick of combat, you see Notori Highguard and the 10 monks from the Temple of Quiet Fire. Notori, like her like blonde, her kind of like blonde braided beard already flecked with blood. As she's just striking. I mean, she's doing unarmed attacks here, but that's kind of her thing.
She's the one who pulled me back from the alternate timeline, right?
Yeah. Looks over to you and kind of gives you a wink. And you're rolling for them. You get to...
Perrin squints across the battlefield like, did she just wink at me?
Yeah.
Also, I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god. All right. Well, what?
20
okay.
plus 24 plus whatever you were about to tell me.
So here's you're already getting the highest bracket, which means that none of the monks and Notori, they're all safe. None of them are going to be eliminated in this round. And since it was a crit, go ahead and roll me 4d6 instead.
$16.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Give me what was the lowest d6 that you rolled? Because I'm going to take some out of the Othgod too.
3.
Okay. Jesus. Hey, I'll tell you right now, y'all are being pretty inspiring. Your allies are doing a handy job here. Okay, Perrin, that's you. Fauna, you are rolling for the rest of the LeGrandes family that were not betrayers. So the rest of Cletus's family that
Does that
stayed
include
true.
Cletus, or is Cletus with us?
Cletus is with you. Basically, Cletus, the mechanic that Cletus gave like pool points to you all for your allies, and then also like Cletus and Vlad are both there to offer advantage once per round.
Okay, but they're not.
Everyone.
They don't have a turn in combat.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Is there any kind of modifier for this, or?
You are adding whatever modifier you want of your abilities. So I would imagine wisdom. Play to your d20, and then there are 8 of the LeGrandes family that were not betrayers, and you get a +1 for each of them. So you're adding another 8 to this roll.
Sweet. Okay. 22.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d8.
Three.
Okay. Okay. Last ally roll, Nyx. You are going to be rolling for the Burning Sands automatons. There are 13 of them, and you get a +1 for each of them, so you get +13 to this roll.
Just a d20.
D20.
Oh, it's in that one.
R.I.P. Burning
Can
Sands.
we use inspiration on that or give points to that one?
You can use inspiration to re-roll any roll you want. So you could use an inspiration point to re-roll. I mean, you've got 2, or you can...
We also have the points pool.
You do, it will still count as a critical, like you can get it up higher. It'll still count as a critical failure. So the way I'm going to flavor is that it's double damage against the burning sands. So twice as many of them would get wiped out. But you can get that bracket higher by putting points into it. So I'm rolling less dice.
Can I give June one of my 3 inspirations? Do they carry over?
What does Vox do to give inspiration to Nyx right now?
I think that for the first time, Vox, just like covered in blood, would just like smile and nod at Nyx, and it kind of is remnant to like their alter egos, kind of wild, wicked smile.
Nyx.
Having just saved Vox's life earlier, they'll toss their head and throw a wink back. And let me re-roll this, and hopefully it doesn't fail again. Okay, you said it was a plus 13 to that.
Mm-hmm.
29.
Okay. Roll 2d6 for me.
Thank you. 4, 3.
Okay. Wait, a 4 and a 3 for 7? Okay, cool. Okay.
Vox coming in clutch.
Sands. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good. Your allies would have been not doing great after that round. Okay. That's all the ally rolls. That's all the initiative order. We're back to the top of the initiative order. Let me make sure. I don't. Also, I forgot. There is one other thing at the end. Atticus, I need you to give me. You're gonna roll an Arcana check for Atlas. Atlas gets a +7 to this roll.
I was gonna ask. Is it okay? It's not my Arcana.
Not yours. Atticus gets a +7.
That is going to be 22.
Okay. Nice. Okay, cool.
How does my kid have 1 point less in Arcana than I do?
It's, well, number one, Atlas has a pretty high I think Atlas gets a +3 to intelligence, and then they have expertise in Arcana. It's like their only skill. So they get a +4 from their doubled proficiency bonus. I mean, it's
my son's so smart.
It's what he does.
A smart boy.
Yeah, it's what he does. As like a level 2 artificer, which is crazy. Okay. Cool. We're back to the top of the initiative order. Atticus. At the top of the initiative order. Actually, hold on. Sorry, I have to do the refresh roll now. Let's see. Every one of those is there. Call it.
So how many troops got taken out by our allies? Did we do the math on
a fuck ton. I think it was almost 30. It was a lot. I guess including Othgot it was just over 30. I think. I'm updating the numbers here as I go, so I don't have the old ones, but okay. Okay, and then that updated, and that's that updated. Okay. Atticus, it's your turn.
So you said there's another Othgoth and then 3
right now
three.
with and then at the end, like, basically if you wipe out all your, I'll tell you this other mechanic, if you wipe out all your combatants in a, like, partway through the round, like you did, because there was an immolation and you'd already gotten rid of other ones, there's an immediate, like a very small refresh roll to add a couple more to the pool. And then depending on how well your allies did, at the end of the entire round, I do another refresh roll. But all your allies did really well, so it was a pretty small refresh roll. But I will say right now, you have 5, a lot of Othga targets, 5 Othga, and then 6 remnants. Now,
Okay.
like there's even more coming in.
Okay. Who's closer, remnants or Othgoth?
More Othgar are stepping in to take, like, you're in front of this little Othgar pocket here.
Okay. Yeah, I am just gonna go straight for another attack on the one stepping in.
Cool. Yeah, give me those attack rolls.
Oh shit. That one went flying. So on both dice, I rolled a 19 and a natural 20.
Hell yeah!
So that's
roll the damage for me.
that's double. So it'd be
Yeah, you're gonna
2d6. I'm rolling.
It's 2d8.
8d6 or 2d8. Yeah, sorry.
You're gonna be rolling
So-
8d8
I'm just
plus
gonna
your
speed
strength
this up. I'm gonna
modifier
do it
twice.
I'm gonna do this on D&D.
Google. Yeah.
Uh, 42.
Is that
42
plus
damage.
your strength bonus too?
Yeah.
Twice? Okay, cool. 40.
Oh, twice? Twice?
Yeah, twice because it's 2 hits.
48. 48.
Yeah, I mean more than bloodied. This Othga is almost dead.
Nyx just poke it, or sorry, Vox just poke it in the foot.
Okay, Atticus, do you have anything you're doing with your bonus action? I will remind you too, you have all those like channeling abilities for the Oathbound are all bonus actions.
Nah, I'm not doing anything for my bonus action.
Okay, cool. Atticus, that's your turn. Vox, it is you, and Perrin, you're on deck.
We'll seeing what the cultists can do. Vox is gonna go swing at. Is there another brown-wearing cultist in?
Give me a perception check.
Ooh, that's a 19.
Yeah. You see another one in a different space than the other one was, but another one with a mask kind of like skulking behind a couple of the others, but you can definitely go in for them.
Yeah, that's where Vox is going. Vox is gonna go, and I want to swipe at this one twice.
Okay.
Rather
great.
than 2 different ones. The first one is a 19.
19 hits.
And the second one is a 16.
Both hit.
Yeah, okay. 1, 2. 21.
21 damage total
Yeah.
between the two. Okay, cool. They're not dead, but they are very, very close. As you go into they're already kind of like raising their dagger, and you see to like almost go into the back of one of the cult members in front of them, and you hear them start to mutter, "The life bringer offers life beyond," and then you just get their like vocal cords in one of the swipes, and they're just coughing what almost looks to be little almost like coals or sparks coming out of their mouth as they are coughing. Do you have anything you're doing with your bonus action?
I do not.
Oh, because your bonus action it's your offhand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not high enough in fighter yet. Perrin, that's you.
How many are left in this immediate vicinity?
You've got 5 Othga that are over by kind of just Atticus now, and then another 6 of the remnants, and one of them, the one that Vox just attacked, does have another one of those skull crowns.
Okay.
So 5 and 6, 5 Othga, 6 remnants.
And the 5 are all kind of squared up in front of Atticus, or are they trying to surround him?
Yeah, they're kind of all over in that space. Atticus is sort of holding that part of the line on his own now.
Yeah, so Vox is moderately close to Nyx and Fauna now, so Perrin is going to kind of cut distance over towards Atticus.
Cool.
Sorry, I was looking to see... I can never keep track of what my shit is that's bonus actions. Okay, I'm just gonna go over there and actually, you know what? On my way sprinting over to Atticus, I'm gonna whip Ornament of Rights around and smack the crowned one in the head.
Cool, give me an attack roll.
That seems like it makes sense, right? $23.
23 hits. Roll that damage.
$14.
Yeah, tell me what it looks like as you just, they're sitting there, throat slashed, can't talk anymore, coughing, and the sparks and the smoke is coming out.
I feel like Perrin is borderline casual. He sees Vox get around and slit their throat and kind of get a little bit of distance. So he's kind of jogging towards Atticus, and he just whips Ornament of Rights around, and he just knows where it's gonna go. He's not even looking, and it just swings around and smashes them right in the face.
You just head almost taken off Vox in front of you. The whole skull crown smashes in, and they hit the ground. That one is toast.
And then he's just going to close the distance and get kind of quarter cover behind Atticus, and he's going to strike whichever of the Othga look like they have the cleanest shot towards Atticus. He's trying to keep them in front of his shield,
squaring up
basically.
with Atticus that took hard hits is the one that's right in front of him.
Yeah, I'll cast, or I can reuse bonus action to recast Hunter's Mark. Right? Last turn I killed someone with it. They died, so now I can recast it onto that one that's already damaged. And I will attack them. $27.
27 hits.
$22.
They're so close to
Elven accuracy is so broken when I have Amos as well.
I know, it's crazy.
It literally is just 3d20 every time I attack, which is twice per turn.
Yeah.
We need one of those feats where I can trade it for damage.
Elven accurate, it's even better than rolling 3 because you get to roll 2 and then re-roll the lowest
Re-roll
one.
the low one. So you get a second chance at crit, but it's also you get to eliminate the low roll.
Yeah. Okay. That Othga is almost you tear into him, Perrin, and Atticus, you just see teeth go flying, and that but these hill giants they're big and they're tough, and this one is still barely on its feet. Perrin, if that's you, it is now the Othga's turn.
And I'm just gonna be nice and tight to Atticus and watch his back and try to direct his shield if he doesn't see something coming.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to say the way that you're kind of managing all this space too, you are preventing if Atticus was the only one here in front of the Othga, then maybe you could get flanked, but not anymore because you're there. These Othka are all going to square up at you, though this one that is still barely hanging on, he's going to go after you, Atticus. It's only an 18 to hit and a 12 to hit. Neither one hits.
They just clank off the shield.
Yeah, 2 more of them are going to go for you, Atticus, and then the remaining 2 are going to go for Perrin. So the first 2 that are going for Atticus. That one will, I think, a 26 hits, right?
Yeah, that one hits.
Okay, so we got a 20, 2 26s actually. So 2 of those 4 attacks, 2 hit. Atticus, you're going to take 18 piercing damage from that. And then 2 more coming to you, Perrin.
I call them traitors when they hit me.
Indeed they are.
And merchants. Don't forget merchants. And there to back them up. Traders and merchants.
One of them like raises an eyebrow at you before they thrust their spear. Does a 16?
It does not.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Sentinel reaction again.
He just pushes it out of the way with Ornament of Rights.
Third one was a nat one.
That was a bad try.
The one that like raised their eyebrow rolled a nat 1 for their second attack on merchants. Does a 21 hit though?
I'm at 19 right now with half cover.
Okay, so 21 hits.
I'm gonna use Sentinel again on a reaction.
Okay, cool.
Since he's 5 feet.
Yeah. Perrin, you are going to take 10 piercing damage from that one hit. Okay. And then give me that Sentinel attack roll.
17. So I forget that with my armor, I get bless as well to roll on attack rolls. So, and I haven't done it at all, but now I remember.
Yeah, I don't think you've needed to, but yeah, that one hits.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm late because I was reading text. Can I use shield on that attack against Perrin?
+2.
It's a reaction.
Oh yeah, because shield. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Perrin, you don't take that. Perrin doesn't take that 10 piercing.
Wait, no, I still have to pass my save on that.
Oh yeah, to use it on
DC 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, on an Arcana.
Am I adding my spell attack or no?
Or yeah, it wouldn't be. It would be using
or is
your
it just a flat D20?
No, it'd be using your spell modifier, not an Arcana check. So it would be your proficiency bonus plus your, for a sorcerer, charisma modifier. So I think 4 plus whatever your charisma modifier is.
Yep. So perfect. 18.
Yep. Cool.
Whee.
Yep. Perrin won't take
15.
that damage.
15
damage.
Attack.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
61. Okay. That is all the Othka. Do you want to? Should we just? We'll finish up this initiative round and then we'll take our 10-minute break because we're pretty close. We just have Fauna and Nyx and then the remnants left. So Fauna, it is your turn.
Okay. Fauna's going to try to look at the enemies that she can see and see if there are either any more of the extra baddies or anyone that looks especially magical, like more, like look for like the more powerful.
Give me a perception
magic
check.
users.
Or you can make an Arcana check too.
Okay, I'll do Arcana.
Okay. Okay, let's see. That is 25. On a 25, Fauna, you're looking out at this battlefield. The first time you've ever been in anything resembling a scale like this. And whether it is granted to you by the new form that you bear or the oath that you've taken alongside your friends here, whatever it is in this space, there's a moment here where you take a breath and you look out. You can see clearly. It's not just a noisy din of adrenaline and blood and terror. You can see what's going on here. There are remnants that are not active combatants. They make a ring around the entire grounds of the manor. You feel the arcane energy coming off of them, and you feel a presence here. I think on a 25, like as you're looking around, an almost translucent image. It is like a ghost of a ghost, but in the sky, even though it is still dusk, there's still light in the sky. It is darker here than it should be because it looks to you almost like there are enormous black feathered wings like wrapped around the manor itself. Whatever these remnants are that are not participating in the combat, they are channeling something incredibly powerful, and it would not be exaggerating to say like apocalyptic, at least for everyone here in the manor and even nearby the grounds of the manor. The Othga, yeah, they're tough. Distractions. The best thing that you can do is carve through as many of these cult members, of the remnants, as you possibly can.
Okay. I think she would communicate that to whoever is close enough to be able to pay attention right now. I know other things are happening kind of at the same time, but are they visible? Would they be visible to everyone, like if she pointed it out, or is it?
It's kind of like through almost like a fog of war right now. Like there is a haze, and it's just, I mean, on that 25 Arcana, you're kind of able to parse. There's just a calmness that you're able to like sort of see past the immediate chaos. It would be a significant feat for your group to be able to fight your way there right now, but the practical side of this is the more of these cult members that take, the more that you thin that herd, the less they have available for this ritual. And if you can get them down to a certain number, they might not even be capable of doing the ritual that they're trying to perform.
Okay. I think Fauna would, to anyone who was, like I said, able to listen, just say like, we need to get to the outer circle. And are any of them within 150 feet of me?
Ooh. They are within, some are within 3. I'm going to do a little luck check right now. And I'm going to say that you want for them to be that close. You need to get it. I'm going to roll a d20. It needs to be a 15 or higher for them to be within that range. It's only a 10. Not within 150 feet.
Okay. I think then Fauna's going to target like whatever the person is that is closest between her and the like closest outer ring.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just kind of going for the remnants that are in your immediate vicinity you'd start to push your way there.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to use firebolt.
Okay.
On that person.
Okay.
It's only a 15.
Okay. 15 hits.
Oh. 17 damage.
On a 17, tell me what it looks like as this firebolt takes out one of the remnants.
The fire purple. So it's like a green flame. It hits them kind of in the chest, but the fire sort of comes alive and like snakes up into their facial orifices, like as if they're starting to try to do their, little business that they do, but it's just gonna like suffocate them.
Beautiful and terrible. Okay. Yeah, that takes one of them out. There's only 4 of those remnants now left in the group, but it is their turn.
And sorry, I'm going to use my movement also to move toward try to close some of the distance between me and the whatever outer circle cult member is closest.
Okay, cool. So you go to start putting yourself out there. Two of these are going to go for Vox, who did take out their leader, but they're just going to swing with the daggers. One of those is a...
I don't know if any of these are within range of Waning Night or not, but reminded they exist.
Oh, yeah, I think actually as they close the distance, both of them would be. What is it a dexterity save?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them rolled really low on the attack and this one might, but does a 17 hit Vox? Okay. So if they don't get absolutely aced by then 2 dexterity saves. One of them only got a 6, but the other one got a 16. Does a 16 match or get to your DC?
Me, my DC is 16.
Not for you, for Nyx.
Oh, mine, sorry. Let me check. I should know this off the top of my head, but yes, it passes.
Okay. So it's just half damage then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So 10 radiant.
Okay, 10 radiant to the one that passed, and then 20 to the one that didn't?
Yep.
One of them just, the ghostly image of the waning night just fully, whips their glaive around and head gone, decapitated. The other one, they just kind of catch the back of the neck, and they're bleeding everywhere, but they are not dead. That puts them down to 10. But they do... On their 17 that they rolled, Vox, they do hit. You're only going to take 3 piercing damage, but I need you to make me a Constitution save.
Can I use Uncanny Dodge?
Yeah. Yes, not for the Constitution save thing, but for Uncanny Dodge would just have the 3 damage. It would take it down to 1, basically. So 1 piercing damage,
1 piercing damage. Ow. Just a little ow. And then the Constitution save. Okay. Come on. It's an 11.
Okay. On an 11,
Too many dice sounds.
Vox, you feel that little prick, whatever, and then immediately you feel a burning up as you look down and just see your veins almost immediately in your arm where you got struck. It's almost like you can see the fire spreading through the main veins as it goes up your arm, and you're going to take 3 poison damage and 6 fire damage, so just a total of 9 more. But that is both of them. The other 2 are gonna go after Fauna, but they're also stepping in, so they're gonna have to make dexterity saves against the Waning Knight. And both of those are failures. 14 doesn't do it, right?
No, I have my ritual on, so my AC is 16 right now.
Well, for 14 for... Sorry.
No,
for
it doesn't.
Okay,
sorry,
cool.
I shook my head, but I was...
No, it's okay. So it's 22 more times, right?
Yes, and they are now dismissed.
With this last one, you see they handily, behind their back, just whip the glaive around again, and it comes down and just, not even heads this time. It's just one goes through the torso and one goes through the hips, and they're just like in a diagonal line, just, and they fall to the ground. The Waning Knight whips the glaive up behind them and gives you a bow and is summarily dismissed. But that was two. These ones couldn't even attack Fauna, so you've got a little bit more of your path cleared. There's one remnant left, and then 5 Othga, and Nyx, it is your turn.
There was the remnant with the crown that Vox was targeting and almost killed. Are they still up?
That one's dead because Perrin finished him off.
Okay. Do I see another?
Yeah, there's one more left. And
Okay.
it's the one that made the save on the knight. So like they're losing a lot of blood, but they're still there.
Okay. Nyx is going to hold the action that they've been concentrating on this whole time. And I mean, it's spread out over an immense area, but at this point, it's clear that like something is building, and I think like over this field, they're trying to be subtle about it. So it's kind of like, you know, dipping into like little valleys and kind of weaving in and out of like, but it's water up to people's ankles at least, if not past and shins and knees, and that's over a very, very large area. So it's clear that like there is a lot of water.
Yeah.
And what Nyx is trying to do is nearly complete, and they are going to pull their hands out of the swamp mire and still holding it with one like raised fist, but with their other, they're going to.
Oh shoot!
Wow, what a
Whoa, so dramatic.
What
They're
a
gonna
sass.
cast teleportation.
holy shit!
Wow, that's dramatic.
Nick's just messy step out of here.
I think their iPad died. That's perfect though, because we'll actually use nope, back so quick.
They back in here.
I have no fucking clue what
You
happened. My Zoom just full
dramatic.
quit.
You just did that for dramatic flair.
Yeah.
They're still going to hold the spell with their raised fist, but with their other hand that's now free, just cast a neat little firebolt towards the remaining remnant.
Okay, cool.
Which is an attack action. That is a 17.
17 hits.
All right, perfect. I'm just gonna do it on this because it's faster. Boop, boop, boop. 18 damage.
Gone. Yeah, what does it look like as this firebolt devours that last remnant at the edge of the circle?
Oh, the same thing it always does, except they're out in open air. Like, the moon is waning, it's smaller, but it's just pure radiant damage, almost like a conduit. Just moonlight comes down from that straight onto them through their head and out through their extended finger, and it's just searing, like, monochrome absence of light moonlight charring over their face again.
Awesome. That's the it's ally rolls next for everyone initiative, but we'll do our 10-minute break now, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes with the second half of this fight in front of the manor. Let me switch us over.
you.
work Coke Zero into the fight somehow, Eli.
Naturally, yeah.
And then
And
they
then
attack you holding a Coke Zero.
you drink a Coke Zero and you get one of your spell slots back. Okay. We are at the end of the order, so we are now on to everyone's ally rolls. So Atticus, go ahead and give me a roll for Armitage. I will tell you now, like after this first round, Armitage has been whittled down a little bit, as is kind of like everyone's rolls will be. So you are adding Armitage now just gets a +7 to his ally roll.
+7 and then plus my strength. Right?
Yes. Yep.
That is going to be 19 plus 11. 30? No, yeah, 30.
Yeah. Okay. God, Armitage is just owning it. Give me 2d6.
Eight.
Okay. What was the lower of the d6?
They're both 4s.
Okay. Yeah, Armitage is wrecking shop. Atticus, you look over to just hear like a shout. Wait, hold on. Actually, I want to remind myself so I don't quote it wrong. I think, yeah. As you see you remember still from a child the glaive that Armitage wields, Atticus, just formed of its obsidian, basically like black glass, this giant blade on the end of a black staff, and you see it like whipping around left and right, and just like you can hear the impact even over the din of battle as it is hitting people, like, and just carving through armor. You see 2 Othka fall. Remnants are falling left and right in front of him, and you are also seeing like occasionally these like red flares are jetting up from the ground as like he'll make a strike on the ground with the glaive, and just this like red flash will come up from the ground, and then he'll strike and you'll just see like a line of fire spread. But Armitage is doing some cool shit. Atticus, that's your ally roll. That takes it to Vox. You are rolling now for your villagers. Even though a couple got taken out, there's still 21, and you get +1 for every 3, so you're still adding a +7 to this roll.
$29.
Okay. Roll me 2d6.
Come on, small folk, let's go.
These cult members came to the wrong fucking swamp, I'll tell you what.
What was the number? Sorry, I missed it.
It's okay. 8.
8. Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Coof. They're doing their work. Perrin, that's you. You are rolling for the Temple of the Quiet Fire. And you add... let's see. You still add you're still adding 13 to this roll, because they're all still standing,
for them,
including Notori.
And my charisma.
Yep.
$29.
God. Okay. Roll me 2d6.
8, 2 and a 6.
Okay. Fauna, you are rolling for the rest of House of Grand. Not a lot of them left, though, so you're only adding a +3 for them to this roll, plus your wisdom modifier.
25.
Okay. 25, I think just makes it. Roll me 2d6.
Seven.
Okay. And what was the lowest on there?
2.
Okay. Let me find what I'm looking for here. Fauna, in the din of battle, you are looking across. Even though a fight like this is very new to you, you've made a point to mark all the places where you see. I mean, when you were in the Unbroken Green and meeting a lot of, Cletus took you around before the hoedown and introduced you to a lot of family members. Obviously, the most important of those being Regina, who is no longer here.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But you have taken a point to mark the LeGrandes in this fight that you knew stayed true. That fought not only for Atticus, but also for their home, and alongside Cletus as well. And as you are looking over, scanning, you see those wearing the colors of the LeGrand family, and you see a small pocket, 3 of them. They're fighting there's not a lot of other Othgar left out here. Most of them have been taken out of the betrayers. But you see the last 3 members of the LeGrand family locked in combat with these other Othgar. And from behind them, you see a flash, a spray of liquid fire that jets up into the air. And immediately after that, a column of flame rips up. And as the flame subsides, there are no more LeGrandes standing. Of the mini LeGrand, like of most of the family, with the exception of the children and the few who stayed behind to be with the children. Cletus, perhaps Uru, you're not sure, and those that remained behind in Solasar are now the last surviving members of the LeGrand family. Give me an insight check real quick, Fauna.
Uh, 19.
On a 19, you in that moment, yes, you're surrounded, yes, but you look over to Cletus, who has been fighting by your side, and you see his eyes catch the flame. And it reflects it, and then it's gone. And as the light leaves the reflection of his eyes, you see that much of the brightness, the mischievousness, the lightheartedness that Cletus has carried with him for most of the time that you've known him, it's not there. His countenance is clouded. His face covered in splattered stale blood, both that of cult members and that of his own people. And you see him set his teeth and bear down, focusing on the task in front of them, which is to keep all of you safe and take out as many of these remnants as he possibly can. Nyx, that is you. You are rolling for what is left of the burning sands. You add a +8 to this roll. Give me that. Sorry, I missed it. What was that number?
26.
26. Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d6.
6 total.
Okay. Okay, those are all the ally rolls. Atticus, give me another Arcana check for Alice. You add +7 to it.
Set +7?
Yes.
25.
Okay. Okay, we're back to the top of the initiative order.
Woo! The never-ending waves.
Atticus, that is you. I'm going to roll to refresh. There's still the... Othgar in front of you. And those were also all very, very good ally rolls again. So... There's still the 5 Othgar remaining, but 2 of them you've damned. One is like pretty much dead. The one right in front of you, Atticus. And then there are going to be 5 more remnants that show up in your immediate circle. And it is your turn.
Just housekeeping real quick. Did we do the Song of Rest from the bard to get a short rest, or we did not do it?
No short rest, because even 10 minutes would have
not.
drastically changed the situation for all of you.
Okay, cool. I wanted to check because I used Action Surge already. Yeah, Atticus is gonna use his I guess it's an improvised weapon because it's like armor, but Atticus is gonna just shield bash the one in front of him.
Cool.
What would you like?
It's same attack roll as your sword. If you're actually using the tower shield to do this, it is a magical shield. So I would give you your strength modifier plus your proficiency plus another 1 for this being a magical thing.
Okay.
To add to the attack roll.
Okay. Trying to... You said 4 revenants just rolled in?
5 remnants. Or 5 remnants, actually.
And I still... How many hill giants do I have in front of me still?
There's still all 5, but there's that one that's pretty much dead in front of you,
Okay.
barely hanging on, and then the other one that you hit with a sentinel attack.
Okay.
And then three unmarked.
So my shield bash attack, that's 18 on the die. So I just plus 8 it, or plus 9 it.
Yeah. That's definitely a hit.
Okay. That's same as my sword.
It would be 1d6 plus your strength bonus, or plus and then plus another 1 for it being a magic item. So just a d6, and then your strength, and then another additional 1.
Okay. That will be 11.
Tell me what it looks like as you use the shield's name is Issa?
Issa, yeah.
As you use Issa to just obliterate this Othgar in front of you.
Yeah, I just it's basically just like a shield bash. I just push it forward, but the shield just catches him right on the jaw and his head flies back.
good blow, Master Phoenix.
Your first kill.
Will you do me a favor and tally it on the back for me?
Yeah, Atticus is gonna do that after the battle, and then with my second attack, I'm just gonna swing on the next
Cool.
chill
Next
giant in
Othcon.
front of me.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
That's a 19.
Jesus.
Let's go.
Those volcano dice.
It's either really bad or really good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 48. Uh, 32 damage.
Okay. Yeah, one bloodied and one hit as you carve into this Othcon in front of you. You doing anything with your bonus action?
I think not. No, I will not
Okay.
be doing anything.
Okay. Vox, it is your turn, and Perrin, you're up next.
Aaliyah, or Fauna's making her way through, like,
Kind of stepping up right next to you, and you can see that. Fauna, didn't you communicate what was happening to everyone? Yeah. So,
yeah, I sort of indicated that there was like an outer
Yeah.
circle that was like the more important,
yeah.
potentially
so,
more
yeah, and
important.
Fauna's stepping up next to you. I mean, this is the closest way there is going this way.
yeah, I'm gonna start taking down anyone in the way to clear a path to get out
Okay.
there.
Cool. Yeah, give me those attack rolls. They will be against remnants.
I didn't have my attack. 24 for the first one,
24 hits.
and 16 for the second one.
Those both hit.
Do I have advantage on any of these?
You can have advantage. You can have advantage on one because of Brightburn being there at your side, like snapping, so you don't even have to be flanking. Brightburn can just
My sweet little
Great.
puppy.
yeah.
We
So you
love
can
it.
throw sneak attack on one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I'm
can also
throwing-
roll it twice to see if you crit.
I'm just
You did
throwing
hit with both,
a
but-
sneak attack. Let's see. I don't think either is a crit. No.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one's gonna be sneak attack, which is $25 on the first one.
Yeah. You take that one out. What does that look like?
She's just running through and just slicing them, like gutting them.
Yep.
Is the easiest way, I think. Just
yeah,
trying to
you-
get through them.
You unzip one of these remnants.
What's inside?
What's the damage on the second hit?
And that is a 10.
Okay, cool. That one is bloodied now as well.
And you know what? I'm really trying to clear this way for Fauna. I'm going to action surge.
Cool. As you action surge, give me a perception check.
That's a 19.
On a 19, kind of like behind a couple more of these remnants, you see one step forward, hulking, I mean, not as big as Atticus, but a big guy, and one of those skull masks on again, and it is kind of just parting a couple of the cult members out of the way and coming to square up in your area.
Great. Fuck him, he's going down. That's who I'm aiming for.
Okay, yeah, give me those attack rolls.
19. A 19 and an 18.
Both of those hit. Give me the damage.
And I'm going one. No, I don't think that was only. Does a action surge start a new turn?
I can't, for the purposes of sneak attack, I can't. Let me look it up real quick. I can't remember if it does or not, but I can find out real quick.
Yeah, that is.
It's one additional action.
Okay. So.
Oh, the way that you can do it. Here's the way that you can do it: is you can basically use that action surge to ready an attack that would take place on someone else's turn that you can throw the sneak attack on. So if you want to just say that you delay, you've already hit, but if you want to say you delay the damage rolls to function on, like, say, right before Fauna goes on her turn, or even on Perrin's turn, so that it happens before the remnants go too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add all that now and then give you the number when you're ready for it.
Okay, cool. Okay, that is you, Perrin. It's your turn.
So Vox is pushing through, and Atticus is behind.
Atticus is behind, and you're over next to Atticus, dealing with, like, there are 4 Othga left over here.
Okay. Perrin is just gonna continue to fight whoever's in range of Fauna and Nyx, so he'll fight whichever Othga's close.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's the Othga that Atticus took a sentinel attack against. There's 2 more undamaged, and then there's the one that he bloodied.
Oh, sorry.
Also, I'm not right there because I moved toward the ring, the outer, like, towards the edge of the circle. So I'm not right with Nyx.
Vox,
anymore.
Atticus, Perrin, Nyx, Fauna's to the side.
Fauna and Vox are, like, kind of in the
Moving
same
through,
space right now.
Okay. Perrin is gonna stay close to the Nyx right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, give me attack rolls on
And
those
just-
Othga.
Yep. 27 on the first one.
That one hits.
I'll, again, bonus action Hunter's Mark on that one.
Okay, cool.
$20 on that one.
Okay. And do you want to hit the one that Atticus is already bloodied?
The
or a
bloodied
fresh one?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Not looking good at all.
I will follow up and attack him again.
Cool.
$25.
25 damage. What does it look like as you take this one out?
Sorry, 25 was to hit.
Oh, 25 hits.
$13 damage.
Yeah, what does it look like as you take this one out?
Yeah, I think Perrin is just continuing to cycle Ornament of Rights in the air, just swinging in big arcs, and then he's just connecting with these, like, really, really long, like, full range blows where the chain is just up over his head in big circuits. So it just clips right into this guy's head.
Yeah, Atticus, right in front of you, you see this Othga fall. There are only 3 left now in this space. Perrin, if that's your turn, it is these 3 Othga's turn, though.
Can I give you the damage?
Yeah, go for it.
It was 28.
Vox, what does it look like as you take out this crowned remnant?
Yeah, I think just...
Okay, cool.
Yeah, trying to clear the path. I think she takes both daggers into its, like, throat and just cuts vocal cords out and lets it bleed out.
Big guy, probably 1.5 feet taller than Vox, wades up. You flash out and just grabs his throat and falls backwards. Big tree fall hard. Okay. Othgar's turn.
What's the foot distance, regardless of what's in between us? What's the actual physical distance to the outer ring where they're preparing this ritual?
I'm going to say they weren't 150 feet away. The closest ones are 180.
Okay.
Okay. Atticus, I know a 20... Does a 21 hit? Not with your shield.
No.
Okay. But a 23 hits, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one of these, Othgar stepping up, gets you with one of the attacks. That's 10 piercing damage from the spears. They sink in. 2 Othgar left. One is going to... The second one is going to go for you too, Atticus. Again, even the 20 was the highest. Neither one of those attacks hit. The other one is actually going to break the one that you hit with your sentinel attack, Atticus. They are leaving your threatened area as they start to break and move towards Fauna and Vox, so you can take an attack of opportunity if you want.
And I will be doing that.
Cool.
Oi, bruv. That's another 19.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, roll the damage.
4.
Truly, Atticus is all in on this fight.
Yeah. That is going to be 24.
Cool. And because you have Sentinel, they can't move anymore, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you come down, just like both their Achilles just lacerated. And you see them like take a faltering step and kind of like, they're not quite prone, but they go to one knee. That's the Othgar's. Well, this one still can use its attacks. It's gonna strike back at you now that it is stuck there. A 16, which does not hit, but then a 25. So only one of those is gonna hit, and you're gonna take 12 more piercing damage, Atticus, as this one strikes back at you.
Woo.
Yeah, they're getting in lots of pokes. Fauna, that is your turn.
Okay, I am going to use. You said it was 180, right? So if I've moved my 30 feet last turn and my bow has a range of 150,
yeah,
can I try to aim at the closest outer ring cultist that I can see? Like, am I in range now? Okay.
Yeah.
So she's going to use her bow, and she's going to use one of the marbles that she got from Perrin.
Are you bothering? Do you want to know what they look like? And then you can try and pick out. I'll let you make an Arcana check with the marbles for free. You've got 6 of them.
21.
21 is good enough. You look at them, and as you look at the color and you feel the energy coming from them, finally you can immediately identify the spells held in these 6. There are 3 of them contain a 3rd level fireball spell. 2 of them contain a hold person spell. And the final one contains the spell Lightning Bolt. Which I will tell you, the way that Lightning Bolt will function in this case is that you shoot the arrow will still make its damage into impact, but in the line that you fire the arrow, the line of lightning follows the path of your arrow. So it would basically carve a line out
Okay.
for you
Okay.
of lightning, which might be exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, what is hold person?
Hold person is just like a parrot. Like they have to make a save against, in this case,
They
your
just
spell
can't
save
move
DC,
if
and then
they- Okay.
they're incapacitated.
How many bows, if I use the lightning arrow, how many bows are like between me and this other one that would be affected by it?
How many of these? God. I'm gonna roll a luck check right now. The higher the number, the more dice that I'll be rolling to see how many foes are in the way. It's a 17 on the die. Let me roll to see how many are in this line. In the direct line between you and the one that you are firing at, there are 12 of these cult
So I'm
members in
gonna
the
do
way.
that.
Okay.
She slots the lightning marble, which I can only assume is like flashing in some way, into her bow or into the bow, and takes aim at the furthest, the outer ring cult member. So that's who she really wants to damage the most, but any additional damage along the way would be great.
Okay, let me look up the spell real quick to remember exactly
would be
how
so
it
proud.
works. Oh, so proud.
Who?
Go.
No, I didn't.
Hugo?
I didn't hear.
Oh, Hugo.
Oh,
That's
Hugo.
Hugo's
Yeah,
bow.
yeah. Oh, right.
God,
I just didn't hear what you said. I know who Hugo.
Hugo Debois.
Fire it that far.
That lovable rogue.
Each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving
that
throw.
rapscallion.
On a failure, they take 8d6 lightning damage. Okay, I'm just gonna roll one save for all of these, and I guess I'll roll a separate one for the one that you're actually aiming at, or yeah, because the lightning also hits them. So I'm gonna roll a separate one for them because that's a little more important.
Wait, you should roll. Oh, never mind.
That's gonna be a failure. That's a 14 for the bundle of 12. And an 11 for the one that you're aiming at. Fauna, go ahead and roll me 8d6.
This might take a while. Oh no.
Aaliyah, check
Stand
your
by.
doorstep. There's a DoorDash delivery. 100d6.
100d6. They're all rolled.
I could use it right now. Okay, sorry, that one. Okay.
Q is showing off all their d6, and by all I
So
mean
many.
1/5 of the d6
Okay.
they have.
1000 d6.
That would be useful, right? You could. What is everybody else doing while this? Sorry, I literally
you're
lost
okay.
count of how many times I had rolled, so I need to start over and I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing.
Just say the numbers out loud as you roll them, and I can keep.
Oh, I can count.
Okay,
I
cool.
just need to make sure I'm counting how many times I roll.
You can keep count, but you didn't.
Right. I meant of the points.
God, what like the perfect opportunity to use this particular
Ooh.
orb.
That's one of the hardest things to balance, I feel like, is like you need to have big area of effect spells that only very occasionally hit this hard.
Mhm.
But like, there's too many people. There needs to be something.
But in a war where
Okay.
you're trying to carve a direct line, yeah, what's the
28.
I mean, these remnants only have 18 hit points. Fauna, what does it look like as you take out a line that leads directly to the
I think like with even though this isn't her spell, like it was in this orb, I think anything that sort of like goes through her takes on the flavor of her magic. And so it's the lightning is probably green, but it's like really, really bright, like neon green. And it just shoots like one giant bolt straight at the furthest away one, and then then it sort of like lances out these little side bolts from that bolt into every other person that it passes that isn't, you know, like Vox or somebody.
Fauna, you fire the arrow. It finds its mark. In a line straight from you to where you are headed, you see cult members in the lawn just being electrified. This is also disrupting the line, which is huge. It's delaying a pretty absurd spell. So I'm going to change that mechanic a little bit too because of this. I think is that like that lights. I'm going to say in this moment as that arcs through the air, this fight is going incredibly well for all of you. And I think as you let loose this arrow and it takes out a line, for the first time, the field of battle is illuminated a little better. Again, still light in the sky, but there is the electricity creates a clarity in the air that your allies look to and they see the line go. I'm going to say that, like, starting with the next ally round, as part of your action, you can also start to move your pods of allies in the direction that you want them to go, which is to stop this ritual from happening. Fun, unless you have a bonus action, that's your turn, and it is on to the remnants.
Is anyone like real hurting yet, or is everybody doing okay in terms of damage? Good. Okay.
I'm almost bloodied. I've lost almost half my health.
Okay. Let's see. I'm still within 60 feet of Atticus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Atticus as my bonus action.
Yeah, its Beacon of Hope is still active, so it is maximum healing.
Okay, Atticus, you're healed.
Which is, I think, just for, it would be 5 plus, is it just a D4 for Healing Word?
1 D4 plus 5.
Okay, cool. So 9. Yeah, 9 hit points.
Aren't we? Oh, yeah.
Okay, that is these remnants.
You said 90.
9 total. 9 hit points.
Wait, do I need to roll for that, Eli?
No, because Beacon of Hope, you get max healing. So your D4 automatically just counts as a 4.
I think Beacon of Hope rolled off, though. I don't know if that's an effect.
Yes, you do have to roll on the... Thank you. You do have to roll on the Wellspring chart, because it is not a cantrip.
Beacon of Hope is gone. It's out.
It is?
Yeah, it ran out.
Okay. Just kidding, then. You do... So roll the D4, I guess. Scratch that 9 healing. Roll the D4, and then roll the D100 for the Wellspring.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, well, it was a 4, so...
So still 9. Fantastic.
Okay, Wellspring is 59.
Okay. You have gotten the 59 before. Atticus, you're actually not healed for 9 hit points.
Okay.
Don't do anything. Fauna, you go to cast healing word. What word does Fauna utter to Atticus?
Probably just Phoenix.
You go
Would
to
be
say
Atticus's word?
Yeah, you go to say Phoenix, and Fauna, you say it, but you don't hear the words, and the spell disappears, and you don't know where it went.
Wait, is this the one that happened with the firebolt? Was that the
Yes.
same number or the
Yep.
same range of numbers? Oh.
Yeah. Okay. That is now the remnants. Where's my D4? Hold on just 1 second. Fauna and Vox, I need both of you to give me dexterity saving throws.
$26.
I rolled very poorly, so I think I might use one of my bardic inspiration points.
Yeah, one of the inspiration points to reroll, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's not
Yeah,
bardic.
Just inspiration.
Just regular
Probably-
old
I
inspiration.
should probably give out some bardic inspiration
Yeah, don't be stingy,
at
geez.
some point.
Okay, that's better. Sorry, what was it that we were rolling?
Dexterity save.
Okay, 18.
Okay. On an 18, thanks to Circle of Power, these 3 remnants are immolating, and it would have been a hefty amount of damage headed for the 2 of you, but as they do this, you're both able to just kind of get down. At this point, as Nyx has been raising the water, you're beginning to step outside the bounds here too, so you are in a little above your ankle in the water. How deep is the water right now?
So maybe I'm showing my hand here a little bit. Collectively, over 300 feet of spaced dips and valleys, and they've been trying to hide it and stuff. They've raised the water by they've collected 40 feet of water
Total. As you're starting to make your way, Fauna and Vox, you see both of them come for you. You realize now that you're slogging, you didn't think that you were quite in the marsh, but there's water well past your knees, and you both have the instinct that you see as these remnants go to immolate to get underneath the water, and you just see reflected on its surface the fire above you, and then it's gone. So you rise back up out of the water. That is the remnants' turn. I'm going to do just a quick refresh roll for them. Oops. Okay. Nyx, that is your turn.
And you're muted, by the way. Which might have been on purpose.
Yeah, sorry, I was just switching my thing over. Okay. Yeah, so Nyx has finally prepared what they've been working on, and they'll stand and with their held fists just do a giant sweeping motion, and across this 300 feet of swamp, everything that they've gathered of just like bog water and even every drop of spilled blood so far is just going to all coalesce into this giant sweeping wave that is going to plow through and pick up people as it gathers and turn into this massive churning whirlpool. So this whirlpool is 50 feet wide, 25 feet deep. Everyone within it must make a strength save or they're caught. And then everyone within 25 feet of the whirlpool, so 75 feet out from this vortex, are also actively being sucked into it. So they must also make strength saves or they're going to get dragged 10 feet towards the vortex.
Okay.
And then everyone within 100 feet of the vortex are actively swimming in like bog water and blood.
Yeah, this is wild to think about.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I knew you
awesome.
were up to something.
I knew that's what was happening.
Does this affect only people that you target? Does this affect us?
Well, I think Nyx can do it far enough away.
Yes.
Yeah,
which
that it won't hit you.
I mentioned
and
that in
it'll,
the
You're
beginning
just
when
like
I was
channeling
targeting.
out
It's-
and around.
So it's like completely disrupting the casting circle. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do two things here. I'm gonna do a luck check for the people that are not part of the casting circle, and a luck check to see how many in the casting circle are. First one is the less important. It's only a 5. So second one more important. This is the first nat 1, but there's not really a way to critically fail the luck check on this, so it is, but it's not super high for either one. For people not involved in the ritual, you know what? I've rethought it. I don't want this to be based on luck because you've been spending like all your turns to focus this, and I don't think it would just be like willy-nilly.
3 turns.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
And I'm going to base how good your perception check is, like how well you are able to disrupt what is going on.
I'm going to use a point for that.
Okay.
That sucked.
One of the inspiration or just one of your sorcery points?
Ooh, I forgot I have inspiration. Is that just a full roll?
Yeah, you get to redo it, and you have 2 of them.
Perfect. That is a 23.
Cool. On a 23, I want you to roll me 4d6 and then 2d6.
Okay.
And give me the totals of each.
On the 2d6, it's a 4. I'm just going to do this twice and add it up. On the 4d6, it's 11.
Okay. Let's make a strength saving throw on a failed save. Okay. I'm going to make the strength save first for the ones not casting the ritual. It's an absolute failure. It's a 3 on the die. And the ones that are casting the ritual. That is still only, God, for a strength save, that's 11 on a strength save, which I'm sure
It's a
Does
fail.
not beat your
Yeah.
DC. Yeah. Roll-
Was that inside the vortex? So there's a couple things going on here.
Yeah. So those are the ones inside the vortex. So go ahead
Okay.
and roll me 2d8.
Yes,
Can we-
exactly.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Can we make a time duration decision about how long it takes for this water to sweep everyone up as far as how it affects the next few turns?
So the
Is
way
this
that
a
a
6-second process, or is that
Yeah,
instantaneous?
it takes 6 seconds. So the way that the next turn works is, let's see, any creature or object in the
Is
water.
this happening during the next turn that everybody
Yes.
gets? They're
Yes.
still getting bundled together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, as long
People
as you're
inside
maintaining
of it are
concentration on
gonna
it.
keep getting damaged. People
Yeah.
outside of it, close enough, are gonna get sucked into it, and then
Yep.
everyone else
Cool.
is swimming.
So we can all just take a break then.
No. That's 12 with the 2d8.
Okay.
And they're caught in it, so they have to use their actions
Yep.
at disadvantage to get out or
Great
keep taking
move.
damage.
Oh, God.
Such an effective
Okay.
3 turns.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it's so effective that it is like you were already doing really well. This is completely changing a lot. Okay, so you do this.
Another athletics check for the people 25 feet away
Yeah.
from that, so 75.
I'm gonna make athletics checks for them. Just one, because it would be. No, that's what's your
15.
DC? 15.
Mhm.
Yeah, I rolled a 14 on the die, and they get +0 to this. So
Yeah, so they're getting pulled
they're
10
all
feet towards
getting
it,
pulled in.
and everyone else is swimming, so
Yeah.
however that affects their movement, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say, Nyx. That's your turn. This whirlpool comes in and just begins to annihilate. Like,
It's not pretty either. Like this is
yeah, no, it's not pretty.
mud and stagnant water and like detritus picked along the way.
There are
and
remnants screaming. You see some of them as some of them hit stumps in the yard or trees and things like that. Some of them are beginning to just there's small pockets of fire erupting out of the whirlpool. Also, as this is happening, the chain is completely broken up because I think you killed 5 or 6. Immediately they're just dead, sucked into the center, just vaporized. It completely disrupts the ritual even more than Fauna just did. Here's what I'm going to say. It is everyone's ally rolls. And before I narrate what happens next, I'm going to have everyone do their ally rolls for me. So Atticus, go ahead and roll me a d20 for Armitage. You're adding a 7 from him to this roll plus your strength.
That is a 27.
Okay. Actually, I'm not gonna roll for that anymore. Cool. You don't need to roll me a number. I am going to roll for him. Vox, go ahead and roll for your villagers. You have 17 villagers left, so you're getting a total of 5 added to this roll, plus your own modifier.
$25.
Okay. You don't need to roll anything either. Perrin, go ahead and give me a roll for the Temple of the Quiet Fire. You are still adding 11 to this roll.
Dirty 20. Oh, wait,
Okay.
plus charisma. Dirty 24.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Plus my charisma? Yep.
Yep. Plus your charisma. Okay, you don't need to worry about rolling. Okay. Fauna, unfortunately, you do not have any ally roles left, as the LeGrand family that were your allies out there are no longer. That just leaves Nyx. You have a roll for the Burning Sands. You get a total of +3 to this roll based off of how many of them are remaining.
I rolled a 5. Wait, +3, that's 8, but
Use some of those ally points.
You have,
we
you
haven't
have a
used
pool
any
of
yet.
46
I feel like I
points that
should
you have not
them
used.
Before.
how much should I do?
No, we don't really know what.
I will reveal to you, you've been in this fight and you've been doing well enough and your allies have been doing great. I will reveal to you the way that the mechanics work. A roll of 10 or higher. At this point it doesn't matter because of what I'm about to change the mechanics because of between the whirlpool and the lightning bolt and the cat. A lot of stuff is changing. As far as allies you're losing though, on a 10, if you get a 10 or above, between 10 and 15, I roll 2d6 to see how many allies you lose. 15 to 20, I roll also 2d6. 20 to 25, I roll a d10. 25 to 30, I roll a d6. And if it's 30 and up, I don't roll at all.
So I got an 8.
So on an 8, it's below the 10. So it's still just 2d6. I'll tell you right now that there's only 3 of the burning sand
I figured
left. There's
that
not a lot of them
much
left.
Which
It's up to
is
you.
it?
They are a hive mind, and they're not all here, so it's not like.
And I'm like, is it bad that I don't really care that much to save them?
Yeah, and you would have to use a lot of points.
You're saving them a lot of trauma by letting them die because we know what's been done to them.
And they're not individuals, so I feel like they would be fine with this.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, the way I'm going to flavor it is this whirlpool's big enough, and they are automatons made out of collective sand. Gone. Swept up in the whirlpool.
Fair.
Yeah. That is the ally rolls. Hold on, let me move around a couple things in here. Fix that. Okay. At this massive whirlpool goes off, the lightning bolt. Your allies are dropping remnants. The ritual is broken. Pun intended, the tides are turning heavily in your favor. As this is happening, Atticus, you make eye contact. You're about waist deep in water that is surging right now, but you're not close enough. You don't have to worry about strength saving throws or anything. The party doesn't. You look over and you see your father, Armitage. He's still wrecking shop, but he looks like he's taken some hits at this point. You can see that there is the small little break in the armor between the helm and the breastplate. You can see that there is blood running out of it that is crusted on his shoulder and across the plate. He's taken some hits at this point. He turns to look at you across the field.
Looks like we might get that father-son chat after all.
I have a feeling we gotta go through a little bit more before that. Atticus is kind of scanning the battlefield, looking around.
Give me a perception check.
Sky,
yeah, give me a perception check.
19 on perception.
19 on perception. Running from, like, the water is not as like, the further out you get from the manor, like, the deeper that the water is, where it is surging. Nyx, you're, like, holding your control over it. Running from out of the front doors of the manor, Atticus, you see, like, waving their hands in the air and just headed towards, like, dodging as they, oh my god, oh god, oh god. You see Ash running towards you. And across the battlefield, they're calling out. Atticus, your perception check is high enough to hear them as they shout to you. The library! The library! You gotta get to the library!
Atticus immediately yells at the party, like, to the library now, and just fucking bolts.
Are we still in initiative order?
You are still in initiative order. Ash sees this. The party starts to take action. You start running towards the library. Armitage calls back to you.
Son, where do you want me?
Make sure none of these soldiers, cult members, whatever, leave this battlefield alive.
Oh, it'd be my pleasure.
Yeah, Armitage is, like, actively fighting through churning water to, like, chop apart any cult members he sees just, like, go, like, pushed by the water. A lot of the allies remaining here are kind of rallying up along with Armitage. The party is going to take off towards the library. You are all heading there. You're going to stay in the same initiative order. Atticus, at the top of this initiative order, I need you to do 2 more things for me. I need you to give me another Arcana check for Atlas.
$24 for Arcana.
Amazing. Okay. And then I need you to do 1 more thing for me. I need you to make a dexterity save. But Atticus, this is not a dexterity save for you. And it is flat. It is just a D20 roll. There's nothing added to this.
Okay. Oh boy. Natural 20.
No way.
No.
My dice are on fucking fire tonight.
Oh my god.
There has not been a better time in this entire fight to have rolled a natural 20. Atticus, you are rounding the corner of the mansion. Everyone else following you. Like, the easiest way is not to go through it's to go around to the side. You know where the Library of Atlas is. As you round, like, you are thinking, like, the library, like, the cult members should pretty much all be out here. No one would have been seen on the way there. Atlas knows how to bar the door. Like, he can bar himself in the library. No cult members are going to get through the door. Bert's there to protect him. What? And as you are rounding the corner, the moment that it comes into your view, you realize the automaton that you saw lurking at the edges of the fight the entire time was never present out there. And as you round the corner and it comes into all of your view, you see its fist just smash through the walls of the library. It rattles the ground underneath your feet from the blow. I'm going to make a dexterity save now for Bert. It holds for a moment, and then you see as it withdraws its fist from the manor, all of you now close enough to spot it. In its fist, you see a small frog wearing a cowboy hat. As the automaton looks down at it. And I'm not going to roll initiative for the automaton yet to see where it falls in the initiative order, and that is where we're ending today's session. And we will be back. There's a potential, for everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. There's a potential that we're finishing up this stream tomorrow, which we'll post about, or this session. And if not, then we will be back in 2 weeks. So we're ending on a real cliffhanger.
I'm so stressed.
Bert, no.
But thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Castle Run. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm
Bye-bye.
fine with losing Bert.